For a true hero isn't measured by the size of his strength, but by the strength of his heart.
In Disney's Hercules, we are told outright who this universe considers to be a hero. It's someone who thinks of others above themselves and loves unconditionally. As the protagonist, Hercules, obviously, embodies all of these traits by the end of the film. But so does Meg, our beloved anti-heroine, though she isn't recognized as a hero in the end. In my last video essay, I discussed how Megara is an anti-heroine in terms of how Disney specifically defines its women as heroines. However, today I want to examine Meg's transformation as a character, how it relates to Hercules, and how it can be classified as a heroic transformation. To unpack Meg's journey, let's look to Joseph Campbell's book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, a work that outlines in detail the stages that a character must go through to become a hero. The standard path of the mythological adventure of the hero is a magnification of the formula represented in the rites of passage: separation, initiation, return. These three phases are the foundation for Campbell's hero cycle, also called the monomyth. Within these three broad phases, there are 17 discrete stages that further construct the monomyth, but it would be a bit tedious for me to go through each stage for both Meg and Hercules, so I'll be talking in broad strokes for this video. Let's look at the three fundamental phases that Campbell describes: separation, initiation, return. In separation, the hero departs from the normal, mundane world and is thrust into one of supernatural fantasies, which can be good or bad. This fateful region of both treasure and danger is vastly different for Meg and Hercules. For our protagonist, his separation leads him to a world of treasure, the land of the gods, the place where he belongs. Our heroine, on the other hand, is led from her world of comfort to the clutches of the underworld, a region of danger and enslavement. Meg's separation phase sets her on a path of overcoming, while Hercules' path is set towards becoming. Initiation refers to the trials a hero must overcome once they enter the land of fantasy. For Hercules, his trials are literal heroic trials, where he's seeking out danger to push forward toward his destiny.
I'm an action figure!
For Meg, however, she has to suffer through her trials to be whole again, rather than work towards something greater. In order to win back her future, she must do the bidding of Hades, who forces Meg to exploit her femininity for his gain.
I wonder if maybe I haven't been throwing the right curves at him, Meg, my sweet.
Meg undertakes a different kind of heroic trial, one where heroes find the perilous journey into the darkness by descending into the crooked lanes of their own spiritual labyrinth, where they soon find themselves in a landscape of symbolic figures, any one of which may swallow them. Meg's symbolic figure is Hades, who is the representation of her enslavement.
I own you!
And her spiritual labyrinth holds her disappointment and guilt with her choices that may have trapped her for the rest of her life. Again, we find a duality between Meg and Hercules. While the former descends, constantly trying to hold on to the hope of one day digging herself out of the underworld, the latter is pushing himself upward, forcing himself to ascend to a higher state of being. Which finally brings us to the last phase of Campbell's monomyth, the return. This phase requires that the hero shall now begin the labor of bringing the runes of wisdom, the golden fleece, or a sleeping princess back into the kingdom of humanity, where the boon may rebound to the renewing of the community. The return is not just the return from the trials. The hero must also bring with them something they can share. Hercules brings Meg to Olympus, which shows the gods that he has undergone a heroic transformation and can now offer his power as a deity to the pantheon. Conversely, Meg brings back a more metatextual lesson. In his commentary on the hero's journey, Christopher Vogler writes of the return phase that a feeling of closure is created by a hero acknowledging that they are sadder but wiser for having gone through the experience. It may keep them from making the same error again, and their pain serves as fair warning to the audience not to choose that path. Unlike Hercules' return, Meg's doesn't necessarily bring her joy. She's better off knowing what she does now, but she hasn't come out of her journey unscathed. From watching Meg, we as an audience learn that not every relationship will end happily, and that not all decisions are worth the risk. After completing their respective heroic transformations, Meg and Hercules embody two polarities of the monomyth: the anti-hero and the classic mythic hero. By anti-hero, I mean the postmodern idea of what a hero can be. One who does heroic deeds but isn't necessarily ruled by morality. However, both characters' journeys deviate from the monomyth in one very important way. Neither Meg nor Hercules could have completed their journey without the other. Campbell's hero's journey is inherently focused on the individual, one person who overcomes and prevails. They may have help along the way. For Hercules, he learns from his mentor Phil, but their actions and victories are entirely their own. In Hercules, however, both Meg and Hercules are constantly encouraging and saving one another, building each other up to become heroes. Meg gives her life to save Hercules, and Hercules, in turn, descends to the underworld and nearly dies to save Meg. Meg teaches Hercules that people aren't always who they seem. And Hercules teaches Meg that not everyone has an ulterior motive. Finally, and most importantly, they teach each other to be selfless. Meg resolves to leave Hercules to his destiny as a deity.
Congratulations, Wonder Boy. You'll make one heck of a god.
And Hercules gives up that destiny to be with Meg.
A life without Meg, even an immortal life, would be empty.
This give and take between two equally compelling heroes creates a new sort of hero story, one that teaches us that no one needs to be totally self-reliant, and that not even mythic heroes are perfect. As Vogler writes, if one can absorb the monomyth's ideas and recreate them with fresh insights and surprising combinations, they can make amazing new forms and original designs from the ancient, immutable parts. In Hercules, our two distinct heroes are able to create this new form within the monomyth by refusing to relegate the hero persona solely to the masculine mythic archetype. And instead, they open it up to everyone, whether they be good, flawed, strong, weak, or any combination. Campbell, as always, says it best. The hero is the champion of things becoming, not of things become. Thanks for watching. If you haven't seen part 1 to this video, you can find the link in the description below. Also, let me know who some of your favorite alternative heroes are. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook at Film in Deep Focus, and feel free to shoot me an email about what movie or TV show you'd like me to cover next at filmindeepfocus@gmail.com.